Hey, something good did happen today. They had the hot stove thing invitation.
Yes, I got mine.
Gas plug in for 1 o'clock. Got that. But he will call me. I just want to see if I do some post hot stove shopping. Yes. I have some T-shirts from the 1973
So
Sugar Bowl.
I haven't been checking my voicemails as much because I can get them from my phone, right? And sometimes when I see it's his number, I won't. So the other day I went in, I had 15 phone messages. 10
Ladies and gentlemen, look at the ice. Your
Unscrolling.
Nazareth Golden Flyer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chick-fil-A Ice Arena at the Tim Hortons Iceplex for tonight's UCHC Women's Hockey Game featuring the Pioneers from Utica and your Nazareth University Golden Flyer. Let's meet the starting lineup for both teams. First, for Utica, skating on defense, a senior from Centerport, number 8, Hallie McLaughlin. On defense, a graduate student from Wesley Chapel, Florida, number 17, Madison Novotny. On the left wing is a freshman from Clifton Park, New York, number 52, Eliana Lasser. On the right wing is a senior from New Hartford, New York, number 10, Riley Calhoun. Skating at center is a senior from Chicopee, Massachusetts, number 45, Jordan Kowalski. And in goal for Utica is a graduate student from Santa Clara, California, number 32, Angela Hawthorne. The head coach of Utica in her first season is Melissa Milano. The assistant is Laura Ardoin. And now, let's be the starters for your Golden Flyers from Nazareth University. On defense, a graduate student from Marshfield, Massachusetts, number 2, Sammy Blackenberg. On defense, a graduate student from Reading, Massachusetts, number 6, Julia Holmes. At one wing is a freshman from Hinsdale, Illinois, number 13, Amy Leskowski. On the other wing is a sophomore from Duluth, Minnesota, number 24, Meredith Becker. At center is a freshman from Livermore, California, number 23, Sophia Pettis. And in goal, a graduate student from Anchorage, Alaska, number 31, McKinley Hawk. The assistant coach for Nazareth is McKenna Wiltonen, and the head coach of Nazareth, Chris Baudo. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose
Hey, pleasant good evening to you. Thanks for tuning in to the Empire 8 Network for women's hockey action coming to you from the Tim Hortons Iceplex in Rochester, New York. It'll be the Nazareth University Golden Flyers hosting the Utica University Pioneers in a United Collegiate Hockey Conference tilt. Both teams highly regarded in their respective divisions. Nazareth comes in with an overall record of 3-1. 2-0 in UCHC play. Utica ranks 7th nationally. They're undefeated at 6-0 overall, 2-0 in UCHC play. This is Joe Seil. I'll be calling the action for you tonight. And just 4 teams now in the UCHC. The league has kind of splintered off into different directions, but still an automatic bid is at stake at the end of the season. Golden Flyers are the 3-time defending conference champions, including 2 wins over Utica the last 2 seasons in the conference championship game. And taking a look at the starting lineup first for Utica, they'll start a line of Ellie Lasher, a freshman from Clifton Park, New York. She wears number 52. Number 45 is Jordan Kowalski. She is a 5th-year senior from Chicopee, Massachusetts. And number 10, Riley Calhoun, is a 5th-year senior from New Hartford, New York. On defense, Madison Novotny is a 5th year from Wesley Chapel, Florida, and Callie McLaughlin is a senior from Centerport, New York. And in goal for the Pioneers, Angela Hawthorne, she's a 5th-year senior from Santa Clara, California, wearing number 32. Golden Flyers start with a forward line of Meredith Betker, number 24. She is a sophomore from Duluth, Minnesota. Number 13, Amy Laskowski, a freshman from Hinsdale, Illinois. And Sophia Pittis, a freshman from Livermore, California. On defense, Golden Flyers, Sammy Quackenbush, a graduate student from Marshfield, Massachusetts. And Julia Holmes, a graduate student from Reading, Massachusetts. McKinley Hoff gets the start in goal. She's a grad student from Anchorage, Alaska, wearing number 31. So just underway here from the Tim Hortons Iceplex. Glad to have you with us on the Empire 8 Network. This is the first of 2 weekend games between these 2 clubs. They'll be in action again tomorrow afternoon at Utica. And Golden Flyers, these 2 teams have played some close games the last couple of seasons. Nazareth's had the better of it. They lead the overall series 13-1-1, but the last 5 games have all been 1-goal wins for the Golden Flyers, including the last 2 UCHC championship games, including last year they won 2-1 in a very closely contested game. This is Utica on the defensive. They bring it around the goal. That's number 25, Autumn Mish, one of the defenders for the Pioneers. And here comes Utica on the attack. Number 81 is Carly Stefanini, another 5th-year senior. 7 5th-year seniors on the Utica roster under the direction of first-year head coach Melissa Lamonto. 6 seniors in addition to that. There's a scrum here on the near sideboards. Finally get it loose, and it's poked ahead. And sent all the way down the ice. We'll have an icing call against the Golden Flyers. They'll return it down into the Nazareth end for a face-off. This will be to the left of goalkeeper McKinley Hoff, who's off to a good start, graduate student. Corsica Skibinski will take this face-off for Nazareth, junior from Alaska. Kendall Best took the draw for the Pioneers. Nazareth looking hard to get it out of the zone. They finally push it out towards center. Here comes Utica on the attack. Utica off to a great start, as we mentioned, 6-0 overall. That shot by Jordan Hancock was steered aside with the stick by Hoff. Golden Flyers having trouble getting it out of their own end. Utica still with it. There's a shot there by number 52, Ellie Lasher, that hits the skate. And now Nazareth sends it all the way down the ice as they change personnel. So Utica, as we mentioned, a great start that they're off to. They've outscored the opposition 46-2 in their first 6 games. The last 2 were one-sided wins over Hilbert. They won 13-0 and 15-0 over the Hilbert Hawks last weekend. And in addition to that, they've got conference wins over Chatham, both by 7-0 scores on the road. They also defeated Suffolk by a 1-0 score and Elmira 3-2 in overtime. So that was the only 2 goals that Utica has allowed this year were to the Soaring Eagles in overtime. This is Madison Santora for the Golden Flyers. Sends it around the boards for Kate Cascio, number 3. And Nazareth still having trouble getting it out. Utica keeps it in. There's a shot right on goal by number 25, Autumn Mish, that's steered aside by Hoff. And Utica keeping the pressure on. Mish sends it behind the goal. There's a chance in front. And now it's picked up there by the Golden Flyers. This is Sydney Gurlier who dumps that in and flips it on goal. Hawthorne has to make the stick save and steers it aside. Golden Flyers with a chance there. There's a shot right on by Julia Holmes. Save made by Hawthorne. And she covers that up, and there'll be a face-off in the Utica end. 15:47 to go, first period. Nazareth versus Utica, women's hockey. This will be Haley Maudlin and Sophia Pittis to take this draw. Pittis for the Golden Flyers, Maudlin for Utica, another fifth-year senior from Phoenix, Arizona. And she gets kicked out of there. Instead, it'll be Casey Ryder, number 3, to take the draw. Utica Nazareth controls it. And it's picked up there by Ryder, who angles it behind the goal. Golden Flyers look to keep it in. Now it's pushed out of the zone, and we have a collision right at the blue line. That was Ella Cedroni for the Golden Flyers, who collided with, can't see the number, for Utica. But she's getting up very slowly. Looks like it might be Molly Pedoni, number 26, who collided with Sidoni. And she's still down on the ice. The trainer out to look at her. Clock stopped with 15:21 to go. Collision happened, inadvertent contact right there at the blue line in front of us here at the Tim Hortons Iceplex. Mentioned Nazareth in action again tomorrow at Utica. That's a 2 o'clock start at Utica, and then Golden Flyers will be back home here on Tuesday just prior to Thanksgiving, the 26th, against William Smith, non-conference game that starts at 3:15 p.m. Utica, meanwhile, also in action on Tuesday against SUNY Canton. And Molly Pedoni, she's going to be helped off the ice into the dressing room, it looks like. So Pedoni's heads off the ice, and we'll have a face-off just outside the blue line here. Kendall Best, number 6, looks to take this draw against Alexis Kindred for Nazareth. Kindred, the sophomore from Anchorage, Alaska. Best, a first-year player from Troy, Michigan. Officials doing some housekeeping, trying to get that door closed as Pedoni heads off. Molly Pedone, she is a freshman from Trinity, Florida. Hope she's okay. And here's the face-off. It's controlled by the Golden Flyers. They'll knock it back down into the zone. It's retrieved there by Callie McLaughlin for Utica. Sydney Swanson, number 27, working the back line for the Golden Flyers. She's the Golden Flyers captain. And she angles it around the boards for Sammy Quackenbush. Quackenbush normally paired with Julia Holmes on defense, a pair of All-Americans from last season. Quackenbush, a transfer from Hamilton College, and was an All-American for the Continentals, and Julia Holmes, a two-time All-American on defense for the Golden Flyers. So we imagine that tandem will log a lot of ice time in this game, which figures to go down to the wire like the last few games between these two clubs have gone. There's a nice pass ahead by the Golden Flyers. Number 10 is Abby Flanagan, who leads the Golden Flyers in scoring early on here with 3 goals, 2 assists. Nazareth's lone loss was a 3-2 loss to Morrisville back on the 9th of November. And Flanagan had both goals in that game. She also scored in last Saturday's 4-0 win at Manhattanville. Golden Flyers with a pair of shutout wins last weekend. There's a tough pass that ends up on the stick of Ellie Lasher, but the Golden Flyers will retrieve it and send it out of the zone. This is Brooke Judkowitz. Sends it up the ice. Taken there by Utica. Golden Flyers trying to keep it in. It's angled around the boards. It's Tess Barrett, number 76 on defense. There's a shot right on by the Golden Flyers. That was Allie Zach, number 20 with the shot. Steered away by Hawthorne. Utica having a tough time. Nazareth putting some pressure on. Utica able to knock it down the ice. Ivy Leiden in pursuit for Nazareth, number 4. Tries to control it behind the goal. And she'll leave it back there for Allie Zach, number 20. Utica keeps it in. There's a shot that deflects off the skate of Sophia Pittis, number 23 for Nazareth, and now it's sent down the ice. A little scramble for it behind the goal. Nazareth looking to keep it in. It's Quackenbush with it. Plays it across for Holmes. There's a chance inside, but player fanned on the shot. That was Sydney Gurlier trying to get a good stick on that. This one's angled behind the goal. Nazareth keeps it in. There's a shot right on and covered up by Hawthorne. That was Holmes from the right point with the shot. A low shot that Hawthorne able to get her pad on and covers it up for a face-off deep in the Utica zone. Golden Flyers coached by Chris Baudo, now in his 7th season. This is the 7th season of intercollegiate women's hockey for the Golden Flyers, and they've had nothing but success since he took over. 119 wins, 27 losses, 7 ties. It's one of the top marks in all of Division III women's hockey with 800 winning percentage. There's a shot in front. Hawthorne with a save. Kindred was there trying to get the rebound. Here's Quackenbush with a chance. That one sails high and over the crossbar. Golden Flyers with 6 shots on goal so far, 2 for Utica. Here's Holmes with a wrist shot that goes wide. Golden Flyers keeping it in. Tried to pass it out to Quackenbush at the right point, but it's intercepted there by the Pioneers. And we got a scramble for it along the near boards. Nazareth keeps it in. There's a shot by Brooke Terry, the freshman, number 7, that goes wide. And we got a whistle. We'll have a face-off down in the Utica end with 11:09 to go in the opening period. No score. Nazareth versus Utica, women's college hockey. Jordan Kowalski will take this draw for the Pioneers against Corsica Skibinski for Nazareth. It's controlled by Utica. Played around the goal by Tess Barrett, number 76, and Utica clears it out towards center. This is Kowalski with it. Plays it back to the point. There's a shot that goes wide. Kept in at the other point by Emma Corbett, number 71. The Golden Flyers clear it out. There's a pass that's too far for Brooke Judkowitz. And it's set behind the goal where Nazareth plays at Swanson for Jacoby and sent up the ice. This is going to be an icing call against the Golden Flyers. With 10:27 to go, there'll be a face-off down in the Nazareth zone. Haley Maudlin, number 5, will take this draw for Utica. Skabinski in there for the Golden Flyers, number 12. Utica controls this draw. There's a shot that's blocked in front. That was Carly Stefanini with the shot that gets blocked. This is Stefanini with it, stick handling. Tried to leave it there for Ryder, but it's intercepted by Cedrone for the Golden Flyers. 2-on-1 break for Nazareth. They'll dump it back. There's a shot blocked in front. That was Sophia Pittis with the shot. And Utica looks to clear it out of there. These teams will play a total of 4 times this year with just 4 teams in the UCHC now. Each team will play 4 times against each other. Nazareth's had great success in the conference over the last 3 seasons. 3 straight conference championship wins, 51, 57, 1, and 2 over those last 3 seasons. There's a shot right on by Pittis. Stick save there by Hawthorne. So Nazareth getting some shots on goal here, but not able to penetrate there. Hawthorne, there's an interception and a chance in front. That was Ali Zach. Got the shot off. I don't think it reached the goaltender. And this one is flipped out of play in front of the Utica bench, so we'll have a face-off on the opposite side. 9:03 to go, first period. 3 20-minute periods, women's college hockey. And if tied, they'll play a 5-minute 3-on-3 overtime. And then the UCHC play, if they're still tied, they'll play a shootout, a best-of-3 shootout, with the winner of that gaining an extra point in the standings. 3 points for a win, 2 for a shootout win, and 1 point for a tie. So we have an offside violation there, so we'll have a face-off just outside the blue line. Alexis Kindred will take the straw for Nazareth. And Jordan Kowalski for Utica. Here's Julia Holmes, stick handling. Nice pass up for Kindred, who redirects it into the Utica zone. It's retrieved behind the goal there by Tess Barrett. And now here come the Pioneers on the attack. Jordan Kowalski stick handling over the blue line. Sends that in. Hoff with the pad save and steers it over to the right side. Scrum in the corner to try and get possession. Looks like a stalemate in the corner there. Kowalski's there along with Alexis Jones for Nazareth. Julia Holmes also back there. Utica's going to send this back in. Hoff will stop it behind the goal and leave it there for number 20, Ali Zach, who stick handles up toward the red line. And she'll send this one in, but it's deflected by the Pioneers, who start back on the attack. This is Haley Maudlin, number 5. Tries to center it. Puck is loose in front. Quackenbush trying to clear it out of there. Kept in by Casey Ryder for the Pioneers. Back to the point for a shot by Jerome, number 4, the defenseman on the left point. Maya Jerome with the shot. Off with the save. This one's cleared out past the blue line. And it goes all the way down into the Utica zone. Nice pass there. Ends up on the stick of Stefanini, who can be dangerous. Stefanini with 42 career goals to her credit. Fifth-year senior from Framingham, Mass. There's a chance. Shot right on. Pad save by Hoff. was Allie Nolan, number 22, that had that last shot. Nolan, a transfer from Chatham University. She was an all-conference player a couple of years ago. Another fifth-year senior for the Pioneers. So Melissa Lamonto, the head coach in her first season. She spent 8 seasons as the head coach at Morrisville. Also coached 2 seasons at SUNY Canton, 3 seasons at Adrian. So she's got a pretty good resume of college coaching experience under her belt in her first season. Played at Utica back in the early 2000s. We're going to have a face-off down to the left of McKinley Hoff. Hoff is making her 5th start for the Golden Flyers this year. She has allowed 3 goals, 0.75 goals against average with 33 saves and a .917 save percentage. Face off between Kowalski and Skibinski here. Nazareth controls that draw, trying to work it out of the zone. Skibinski with it now. Looked ahead, tried to get it on the stick of Flanagan, but it's taken away there by the Pioneers. Here's Cedrone with it, leaves it there for Pittis. Her shot, can't get much on it, but it's a stick save made by Hawthorne. And we got a penalty coming up here. First of the period. This one's going to go against the Utica Pioneers. Nazareth's going to get the first power play opportunity of the game with 5:46 to go. It's going to be Callie McLaughlin, 2 minutes for a cross check. So Nazareth will have its first power play opportunity. Golden Flyers have not been good so far on the power play. 1 for 11 on the season.
Callie McLaughlin, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of the penalty, 14-14. That's McLaughlin, first cross-check at 14-14.
So Utica, meanwhile, has 2 for 19 opponents have gone on the power play. So both goals that they've allowed, both against Elmira, were power play goals. So let's see if Nazareth can capitalize here as they dump this down. Number 4 is Ivy Leiden working her way down into the corner. Scramble for it behind the Utica goal. Golden Flyers come up with it. Skibinski leaves it there for Holmes. Holmes will wind up for a slap shot that goes wide. Picked up there by Tess Barrett behind the goal, trying to clear it out. Another scrum for it along the far boards. Still loose. Now Nazareth comes out with it. Here's Holmes again. Across for Leiden. Back for Holmes, whose shot was right on. Bad save there by Hawthorne. Here's Holmes again on the right point. Over to Skibinski. Here's Leiden. Leiden fans on the shot attempt. Puck is still loose. Utica looking to clear it out of there. Still in there, though. Finally taken behind the goal by Madison Richmond. And they clear it out of there. Here's Allie Zach now, number 20 for the Golden Flyers. Leaves it for Sammy Quackenbush. Now Abby Flanagan. 19 seconds left on the power play. Utica's done a good job killing this off. Good forecheck there by number 45, Jordan Kowalski. She takes over. 5 seconds to go in the power play. Cedrone tries to stick handle past Kowalski. Gets it past the blue line. Shot right on and a goal! That one bounced right under the pad of Angela Hawthorne, and the Golden Flyers take a 1-0 lead with 3:41 to go in the period. I think that's going to be an unassisted goal for Ellis Sidoni. And here we have it right here. We see Sidoni stick handling over the blue line, and she gets the shot off, and it trickles under the glove. I think it was almost a changeup of a shot that eluded Angela Hawthorne, and the Golden Flyers take a 1-0 lead. We'll check and see if there's any assist credited there, but I think it's going to be an unassisted goal for Ella Cedrone.
Nazareth goal scored by number 16, Ella Cedrone.
And for Cedrone, that's her first goal of the season. And it was unassisted. 16-19 on the time of the goal. Golden Flyers have it a 12-6 edge in shots. And the 12th one finally finds the mark here. Here's Nazareth on the attack. Skabinski up the right wing side. Cleared back out of there by the Pioneers. Nazareth takes over again. This is Jordan Hancock, number 11, stick handling. Going to work her way past Alexis Kindred. Number 3 for Nazareth is Kate Cascio. Leaves it behind the goal for Ivy Leiden, one of the assistant captains for the Golden Flyers. Utica trying to keep it in the Nazareth zone. Leiden trying to get it ahead for Judkowitz. Here's Nazareth with another chance. Centering pass. No one there for the Golden Flyers to take advantage of that pass. And this one's dumped down the ice. It hits a Nazareth player. No icing here, as Zach retrieves it and leaves it back for Julia Holmes. Holmes tries to send that up the ice, and this one's going to be an icing against the Golden Flyers. With 1:56 to go, opening period, Nazareth with a goal by Ella Cedrone has a 1-0 lead here in this key UCHC contest at the Tim Hortons Iceplex. Alexis Kindred will take this draw for the Golden Flyers against Jordan Kowalski, number 45. Golden Flyers control it. They dump it back out. This could be another icing call, and it will be. It's just 8 seconds tick off the clock. So same place for another face-off. Another action in the conference today. This will be on to the right of Hoff this time. Zach wins that draw, sends it around the boards. Utica trying to clear it out. And Kowalski does just that. Zach retrieves it. Pokes it ahead for Meredith Betker, number 24. Betker stick handling. Shot just wide. And Utica takes over. Good pass ahead for Ellie Lasher, who dumps it down in. That's retrieved by Sydney Swanson. Has it behind the goal. Pushes it ahead for Quackenbush. Goes out of the zone. Utica looking to keep it in. And now taken by Pittis. Up the right wing side. It's dumped in by Judkowitz. Some action in front. A little pushing and shoving behind the goal. And Utica takes over. Less than a minute to go here, opening period. Quackenbush gets a stick on it for Nazareth near the red line. And here's Utica on the attack. They're going to have a chance here. Shot right on. That was Jordan Hancock, number 11, with the shot. Hoff makes the save. And Nazareth dumps it down in with 20 seconds to go. Here's a good pass up in the head to Allie Nolan. Nolan stick handling. Nice defensive play there by Abby Flanagan to take that puck away, thwart that scoring opportunity. And now the final seconds of the period tick off. And that's how it'll end. Score after one period of play, Nazareth 1, Utica 0. We will take a 15-minute break. We'll be back with second period action here from the Tim Hortons Iceplex. So stay with us.
Fans, be sure to stop by.
Mic check 2 3 check 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 test 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 1 2 test test testing test 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 1 2 test test.
It is a great day to be a Golden Flyer. Nazareth athletes succeed in competition. They're committed, and they're together. Nazareth University has outstanding facilities and support for every student athlete. The result is champions on the field and in the community. And in the classroom, Nazareth student athletes have a combined 3.48 GPA. With renowned academic programs, dedicated professors, and real-world experience, Naz has it all. Education, friendships, and an experience for a lifetime at Nazareth University.
Iceplex in Rochester, New York. Nazareth with a 1-0 lead after 20 minutes of play on an unassisted goal by Ella Cedrone, her first goal of the season. Cedrone was one of Nazareth's top scorers last year, had 10 goals, 18 assists, and was a second-team all-conference performer, also a member of the all-rookie team in the UCHC. So she gets her first goal of the season, and she stole the puck near the red line and just stick-handled over the blue line and let go a shot that kind of confused, I think, the Utica goaltender, Angela Hawthorne. It just kind of trickled underneath her stick and into the goal for a 1-0 lead for Nazareth. Golden Flyers had 13 shots in the first period on goal, 7 for Utica, so McKinley Hoff was perfect with 7 saves, and Hawthorne credited with 12 saves. Just one penalty in that first period. It was a 2-minute cross-checking violation against Kaylee McLaughlin, which the Pioneers successfully killed off with no harm done. So just underway here, second period action. Teams will swap sides now. Golden Flyers going from right to left offensively. This is Betker with it. He'll dump it in and then chase it around the goal. And it's knocked out to center ice, and the Golden Flyers will retrieve it. Back to get it, number 13 there was Amy Laskowski. Stick handling over the blue line, dumps it back into the corner. Pioneers will get it. That's Maya Jerome, number 4, battling with Betker in the corner. And Nazareth keeps it in. Skabinski dumps it behind the goal. It's retrieved back there by Autumn Mish, number 25. Golden Flyers had slightly the better of it in that first period with the 13 shots. Not a huge one-sided advantage. But these two teams very evenly matched. Utica at 6-0 overall and ranked 7th nationally. Golden Flyers were ranked in the preseason, but then they dropped to also receiving votes after stumbling in a non-league game against Morrisville, 3-2 loss there. They also have wins over Riviere, a 5-0 non-conference win in their season opener. And then they had 2 shutout wins at Manhattanville last weekend, 5-0 and 4-0. Nazareth looking to keep this in. This is Sydney Swanson at the left point. Dishes it down low for number 21, Brooke Judzinski. Judgewitz, rather. This one's cleared out towards center. Utica there. Dump it back in. Swanson's there to retrieve it for the Golden Flyers. Long lead pass for Judkowitz that goes over her stick. And picked up there by Mish. And now here's Utica coming on the attack. Number 22 is Allie Nolan pursuing on the right wing side. Betker gets her stick in there. And Nolan looking to center it. That one hit the stick of Hoff. And it goes behind the goal. A little collision there between Nolan and Ivy Leiden for the Golden Flyers. Utica keeps it in. There's a shot that's blocked in front. That was Tess Barrett that got the shot off for Utica, number 76. One of the top defenders for the Pioneers. Second team all-conference performer last year, Barrett, from Tewksbury, Massachusetts. This one trickles over the blue line, so the Pioneers will have to retreat to get back on side. Here's Richmond with it. She'll dump it down in, and the Golden Flyers will chase it. There's Kate Cascio behind the goal. Ivy Leiden there. Nazareth trying to get it out. Number 7 for the Golden Flyers. That's Brooke Terry right in front of the Golden Flyers bench, battling there with Ellie Lasher for it. Golden Flyers will dump this in. This is going to be an icing call, I think, against Nazareth, and it is. So they'll retreat, and they'll have a face-off down in the Nazareth end. Have an update in men's hockey. Golden Flyers playing on the road at Manhattanville. They trail 2-0 in the first period. Golden Flyers 2-2-1 in men's hockey coming into the weekend. Two games at Manhattanville. Face-off will be to the right of McKinley Hoff here. Alexis Kindred will take the draw for the Golden Flyers. And Kendall Best for Utica. Golden Flyers push this out toward the red line. It's pushed back in by Utica. Betker with it. Loses possession, and now Utica's offside, so we'll have a face-off just outside the blue line. Kendall Best, number 6, will take this draw against Sophia Pittis for the Golden Flyers. This one's dumped down in. Here's Pittis with a stick handling. Gets a shot off right on. Save made by Hawthorne, and she covers it up for a face-off down in the Utica end. So good stick work there by Sophia Pittis, the freshman from Livermore, California. Took that face-off and then stick handled over the blue line. She'll take this face-off as well to the right of Hawthorne. And Golden Flyers will control this. Julia Holmes keeping it in. Leskowski with it, dumps it down in. And it's taken there by Madison Richmond, number 46 for the Pioneers. There's a scramble in front. Nazareth almost got one. Again, there's Cedrone was there trying for her second goal. And they angle this around the board. Stick handled on the far side. Golden Flyers keeping it in. They dump it down. Cedrone's there. Picked up there by Richmond. Just trying to clear it out of the zone, but they're still not able to do it. And now they finally clear it out towards center. Holmes will pursue. Chases it down. And sends it ahead for Cedrone. Cedrone stick handles. Holmes is over the blue line. Her shot is deflected up off the glass. And taken by Tess Barrett. Pushes it ahead for Jordan Hancock. Good forecheck here by the Golden Flyers, keeping the Pioneers out toward the center ice. There's a shot that trickled in on the goal, and Hoff covers it up. Ellie Lasher was there waiting to pounce if Hoff made a mistake, but she covered up for the face-off. And this will be down deep in Nazareth territory. Alexis Kindred will center the line between Brooke Terry and Meredith Betker. And Jordan Kowalski taking that draw for the Pioneers. She centers the line between Ellie Lasher and Riley Calhoun. Once again, down in the Pioneers' end, Nazareth on the forecheck. Brooke Terry, Meredith Betker there. Betker stick handling behind the goal. Taken there by Kowalski. So good forecheck again here by the Golden Flyers. Pioneers having trouble getting it out of their own end, but they'll send this down the ice. Nazareth pursuing. Quackenbush is back there for Nazareth. Quackenbush, a member of the Hamilton Continentals team that eliminated the Golden Flyers in the NCAA tournament last year. Then she transferred for a graduate year with the Golden Flyers. And she earned All-American honors for Hamilton. This is Swanson, stick handling behind the goal. Now she comes out, pushes it ahead for Quackenbush, who sends it down for Brooke Terry, who angles it behind the goal. Here's Abby Flanagan. Golden Flyers keep it in. Corsica Skabinski there. And it's pushed back out towards center. And Utica finally takes over. Number 25, that's Autumn Mish, pushes it down the ice. This shot's right on goal. And Hoff stops it with the stick and covers up for a face-off. With 13:40 to go, second period, Nazareth with a 1-0 lead. Thanks to Ella Cedroni's unassisted goal that came at 16:19 of the first period. Haley Maudlin, number 5, will take this draw for the Pioneers. Sophia Pittis for the Golden Flyers. And no control yet off the draw. Pioneers will have it. Barrett keeps it in, pushes it behind the goal. Retrieved back there by Casey Ryder. And now here comes Nazareth on the attack. Pittis pushes it up the left wing side. It's taken there by Richmond, and here comes Utica back on the attack. Richmond's pass is intercepted there by Ivy Leiden, Golden Flyers. Cedroni's shot is deflected. Here's Zach, who tries a shot. And there's a goal by Ella Cedroni again. Off the rebound. Allie Zach got the initial shot that was deflected. And Cedroni, a beautiful left-handed wrist shot off the rebound to make it 2-0 with 12:57 to go. Let's take a look at it here. You see Zach's shot get deflected, and then Cedroni's right there with the left-handed wrist shot for the goal. So I think Zach will pick up one assist. And Cedroni with her second goal of the game, second of the season, makes it 2-0 Golden Flyers.
Nazareth goal, her second of the game, number 16, Ella Cedroni. Assist number 20, Allie Zach. From the goal, 7:03.
So Zach gets the assist off the shot that was deflected. Zach, that's her third assist of the year. And second goal for Cedroni. Cedroni, the sophomore from Wilmington, Massachusetts. Allie Zach from Lake Zurich, Illinois. And we will have another face-off here just outside the blue line. Alexis Kindred will take the draw against Kowalski. Kowalski logging a lot of ice time here for Utica. That line featuring Ellie Lasher and Riley Calhoun out there quite a bit. Golden Flyers trying to push this out. Here comes Kindred, pushes it. Nice hustle there by Betker to get there. Sets it out. One-timer try there by Gurlier, but couldn't get a good stick on it. And it's cleared back out to center by the Pioneers. This one's kept in by the Pioneers, but ends up on the stick of Gurlier, who pushes it down towards Santora. Santora loses it. Carly Stefanini sends it up the right wing side toward Casey Ryder. Ryder stick handling along the near side, sends it behind the goal for Maudlin. Maudlin being harassed there by Quackenbush, and Alexis Jones also there for the Golden Flyers. Nazareth pushes this one back out. Barrett's there. Sends it ahead for Maudlin. Maudlin over the blue line. Another good forecheck by the Golden Flyers. There's a shot right on, and Hoff made a pad save. I'm not sure if she ever saw that one. That was Emma Corbett, number 71, that launched that shot. Not a lot on it, but I don't think Hoff ever saw it. Here's Holmes, stick handling. Tries to get it to Santora, but it goes behind the goal for Gurlier. And the Pioneers clear it out to center. Nazareth tries to push it back in, but here comes Utica on the attack. Barrett with it. Over the line. Gives it up for Allie Nolan, number 22. Golden Flyers looking to dig it out. Utica has it. Tried to pass it in front. And here's Abby Flanagan for Nazareth. Nice pass. Ahead for Judkowitz, but she couldn't control it. And now Swanson ahead for Judkowitz, who pushes it into the left wing corner. In pursuit there. And here comes Utica back on the attack. Nolan out towards center, loses control, and Swanson cleans it up behind the goal for Nazareth. Nice pass. It finds the stick of Skabinski, but she can't control it. And now push back down into the Utica end, and Utica clears it back out. Cascio tries to keep it in, but it ends up on the stick of Autumn Mish, number 25. Past the midway point in the second period. Golden Flyers with another second period goal. They lead it 2-0. 15 shots on goal for Nazareth, unofficially 11 for Utica. And the Golden Flyers will push it back in again, where Mish retrieves it. Here comes Kowalski, stick handling past the blue line. Nice defensive play there by Cascio. And now they push it ahead here for Cedrone. Cedrone tries to make a move, but good defensive play there by Madison Richmond thwarts that scoring chance as Cedrone looking for the hat trick here. That one was covered up by Angela Hawthorne, and they'll have a face-off to the right of Hawthorne. Angela Hawthorne was an honorable mention all-conference selection last year. She was the goalie of the year in the UCHC back in 2023. First-team all-conference selection. Fifth-year senior from Santa Clara, California. Here come the Pioneers on the attack. Julia Holmes wrestling in the corner there with Carly Stefanini. This one angles behind the goal. And they push it ahead. Number 7, that's Brooke Terry. Terry on the line with Kindred and Betker. There's Kindred with a shot. They left her open. She had a clear path to the goal, and it looked like a blocker save there by Hawthorne. Here comes Allie Zach, stick handling over the blue line, tries to get a shot off. It's deflected in front. She retrieves it behind the goal and sends it around where it's picked up there by Emma Corbett. Now Zach keeps it in. She'll head to the bench as they get some fresh skaters out there. There's Cedrone in front. Golden Flyers keep it in. Quackenbush stick handling. Tries to center it. Was deflected away, and this one goes high up in the air. Quackenbush back to retrieve it and uses Sydney Swanson as the outlet. Here comes Utica. This is Kendall Best with a shot. I think Hoff got a pad save on that. Trickled it to the right side. And now here comes Nazareth back in the attack. Pittis with a wrist shot that goes wide. And Cascio tries to keep it in for Nazareth, but we got a whistle. Yeah, we might have a penalty coming up here against the Pioneers. And it's going to be Ellie Lasher. 2-minute penalty for interference. That comes with 7:29 to go, so Nazareth will have its second power play opportunity here of the game. They were unsuccessful in the first period, and we said Nazareth off to a tough start on the power play in 2024 as they've connected on just one of 12 tries now as they were unsuccessful in the first period. So this one will trickle back to Ivy Leiden. Leaves it there for Laskowski. Now to Holmes. Holmes will use Leiden on the right point. Back to Holmes. One-timer is on goal. Rebound in front by Betker. Goes wide. Here's Laskowski. Back to Holmes at the blue line. So you're going to leave it for Leiden. Leiden's going to wind up and shoot. That one's deflected. Good defense there. There's a chance in front. Betker's there. Got a stick on it. Golden Flyers getting some chances here. Here's Holmes again. Her shot is deflected, and it's cleared out of there by Utica. That was Stefanini that sent that down the ice. And the Golden Flyers back to retrieve it. 1:10 on the power play. 6:35 left in the second period. This one goes all the way down the ice. Flanagan in pursuit. Battling there with Autumn Mish, and it's cleared out of there again by the Pioneers. Quackenbush back to get it. Forecheck there by Riley Calhoun, number 10. Here comes Quackenbush. Puts it on the stick of Brooke Terry. Ahead for Zach, who pushes it past the blue line. Terry behind the goal tries to center it. Nobody there in front. And here's Allie Zach again. Here's Cedrone. Winds up, slap shot. That's deflected in front. Here's Terry. Can't get a good stick on that. 20 seconds left on the penalty. And now Utica clears that down the ice. Good job there by Autumn Mish to send that off the glass and caromed it down the ice. 10 seconds to go. Time for one last rush here perhaps for Nazareth. Skabinski behind the goal looks to center it. Nobody there, but Hawthorne covers it up with the glove. And we'll have a face-off down in the Utica end with 5 seconds left on the power play. 5:34 to go in the second period.
During the second intermission.
Pretty good crowd assembled here at the Tim Hortons Iceplex for this key UCHC tilt. Same two teams tomorrow in Utica, 2 o'clock start. As Nazareth keeps it in. Penalty has expired, so the team's back at even strength. There's a chance in front here for Nazareth, though. Gurlier with a backhander that gets deflected in front and picked up there by Haley Modlin. Golden Flyers still keeping it in. Skabinski with it. Tries to get a stick on it. There's Swanson with a wrist shot that goes wide. That's retrieved there by Madison Richmond, number 46, and out come the Pioneers on the attack. Here's Richmond stick handling for Utica. Shot right on. Nice save there by Hoff. One of her better ones of the night. Looked like she got the blocker on that one. And here comes Swanson stick handling over the Nazareth blue line. Pushes it past the blue line. Judkowitz in pursuit. And here comes Casey Ryder on the attack for Utica. Ahead for Allie Nolan, number 22. Nolan shot sails wide. Ivy Leiden behind the goal for Nazareth. Leaves it there for Kate Cascio. This is Brooke Terry. This is Meredith Betker. Makes a nice move. Backhander in front. Oh, nice defensive move there by Allie Nolan to present another goal. Meredith Betker with a nice stick handling move there to get the shot off. So Golden Flyers looking pretty solid here. Almost through 2 periods of play. They lead it 2-0. With 3:56 to go. Face off to the left of Hawthorne. There's Holmes, lets that one loose. It goes wide. Jerome behind the goal for the Pioneers. Here's a chance in front. Shot by Pittis. Rebound, still loose. Cleared back out of there. There's a shot and a goal for the Golden Flyers. Ali Zach with the shot makes it 3-0 with 3:40 to go. Ali Zach, the sophomore from Lake Zurich, Illinois, her 4th goal of the season. Now let's take a look here. Pittis got the initial shot off, and then the puck came back out, and they were battling for it, and then it trickled back out to Zach, who fires a left-handed shot into the goal for a 3-0 lead for the Golden Flyers with 3:40 to go. And we'll have another face-off breakout at center ice. That's Alexis Jones who sends that in. Golden Flyers looking for more.
20, Ali Zach. Assistant number 13, Amy Leskowski. And number 23, Sophia.
So Leskowski and Pittis will get assists. For Leskowski, her 2nd assist of the season, and for Pittis, her 2nd assist. So Leskowski, the freshman from Hinsdale, Illinois, and Pittis, a freshman from Livermore, California. Pittis was the one who got the initial shot off. I think it was deflected in front. She was down on her knees when the puck squirted back out to Zach. And a left-handed wrist shot beats Hawthorne for the 3rd goal. Very similar to the shot that Cedrone scored for Nazareth's 2nd goal. There's Quackenbush working against Allie Nolan. It's cleared back out towards center. This one's going to go all the way down toward McKinley Hoff, who will cover it up for another face-off down in the Nazareth zone. So Golden Flyers looking solid here against the Pioneers. Big UCHC game. There's the face-off. Controlled by the Golden Flyers. Here comes Betker up the left wing side. Defended there by Callie McLaughlin. Golden Flyers, another shot on goal that the Kindred tried to tip in. This one's going to sail over the glass and into the stands. And we'll have another face-off down in the Utica zone to the right of Angela Hawthorne. Sophia Pittis will take this draw for Nazareth. And it ends up on the stick of Leskowski. Her shot right on, saved by Hawthorne. Here's Zach with it. There's another chance in front. Shot by Leskowski, and that one's gloved by Hawthorne for another face-off. So Golden Flyers with a very productive 2nd period here to take a 3-goal lead. This next face-off will feature Kowalski and Pittis. And Utica controls this one. Riley Calhoun, number 10, stick handling up the right wing side, being chased there by Leiden. And the Golden Flyers come away with it. Here's Cedrone up the right wing side. There's Leskowski chasing that. Takes it all the way behind the goal, looking to center it, but being harassed there by Kowalski. Nazareth takes over. There's a chance in front. Skabinski with a shot right on. And this one cleared out past the blue line, and it's picked up there by Calhoun for Utica. Stick handling there against Maggie Jacoby, number 18. And now Nazareth comes out with it. Here comes Ivy Leiden, or Kate Cascio, rather, who dumps that down in. Stopped behind the goal by Hawthorne. Under a minute to play here in the 2nd period. And Nazareth clears that out. Pioneers threatening there. This one cleared back down in the Utica zone. Dumped back in by Cascio. And here's Modlin with it, number 5. Stick handles around Cascio. She's going to get a shot right on. Hoff made the initial save, and she dives behind the goal, I think, to cover that up. And Hoff getting up slowly, but it looks like she's okay. With 26.3 seconds to go in the second period. We'll have a face-off to the left of McKinley Hoff. Hoff with a good chance to break several of the Nazareth goaltending records held by Adriana Brem. She's got 47 wins heading into tonight's game. Brem had 50 in her career, and she has 923 saves coming in. Brem had over 1,000. So she's got a chance at both. 0.92 career goals against average and a 944 save percentage, both great marks. Here's Holmes with a chance. In closing seconds, shot was right on, and there's the horn signaling the end of the second period, and it was a good one for the Golden Flyers as they lead this one 3-0 after 40 minutes of play. So we will take a break. We'll be back with third period action from the Tim Hortons Iceplex. So stay with us on the Empire 8 Network. Welcome back to the Empire.
It is a great day to be a Golden Flyer. Nazareth athletes succeed in competition. They're committed, and they're together. Nazareth University has outstanding facilities and support for every student athlete. The result is champions on the field and in the community. And in the classroom, Nazareth student athletes have a combined 3.48 GPA. With renowned academic programs, dedicated professors, and real-world experience, Naz has it all. Education, friendships, and an experience for a lifetime at Nazareth University.
For the Pioneers. And just 2 penalties in the game, 1 in each period, both against Utica. In the second period there, Ellie Lasher, a 2-minute interference penalty, but Nazareth not able to capitalize on that. So that's where we stand, 3-0 Golden Flyers as we head into the final 20 minutes of play. The teams will swap sides. Nazareth will be going from left to right as you're watching. And we'll see how this shakes out. Golden Flyers one of 2 conference games, only 4 teams now in the UCHC. So it's Manhattanville at Chatham. And the other conference game tonight at 7 o'clock. Same 2 teams tomorrow. Nazareth will be in action at Utica tomorrow. As they look to have a good weekend here against the Pioneers. So far, so good. And it'll be the Pittis line out there now between Amy Laskowski and Meredith Betker. And Pittis will face off against Jordan Kowalski. Kowalski sending the line between Ellie Lasher and Riley Calhoun. Pioneers control the draw and they dump this down in. Golden Flyers going with the back line. That's an icing violation, actually. Back line of the All-American back line of Sammy Quackenbush and Julia Holmes. Madison Novotny and Callie McLaughlin form the defensive pairing for Utica to start this third period. Face off deep in Utica territory. There's a chance in front. Betker leaves it there for Pittis. Nazareth not able to keep it in as Quackenbush retreats. Pittis battling forward along the near boards with Kowalski, and Betker comes away with it. Stick handling, gets a shot off, and it's right on. And save made by Hawthorne. Hawthorne with her 22nd save of the game. For the Pioneers, it results in another face-off to her left. And this will feature Corsica Skibinski for the Golden Flyers. She's got the line between Abby Flanagan and Brooke Judkowitz. Here comes Utica on the attack. Shots deflected in front. Another shot deflected, and a goal for the Pioneers. They tap it in. It looked like Carly Stefanini, number 81, might have gotten the goal, although number 5, Haley Modlin, is leading the charge to the bench. So there was a scramble in front. Let's take a look at it here. You see Modlin, looked like Stefanini might have gotten the last shot in there, and it beats McKinley Hoff to make it 3-1 in the opening minute here of the third period, just 46 seconds in. And if it was
Utica goal scorer, number 5, Haley Modlin. Number 81, Carly Stefanini. And number 3, Casey Ryder. Time of the goal, 46 seconds.
So Modlin does get credit for the goal. That would be her second of the season. And Casey Ryder with an assist, her 7th of the year. And Stefanini, as we mentioned, her 4th assist of the year. So 3-1 our score now. Utica tightens things up here. Alexis Kindred tries to center that one. Cedrone is there, stick handling. Pass out to the point for Julia Holmes, who dumps it back in. And this one's cleared out. Oh, it's still in there. Nazareth trying to keep it in, and they're not able to do so. They'll get a whistle, an offside violation here that'll result in a face-off just outside the blue line on the far side, in front of the Pioneers bench. Utica pushes that one down. Julia Holmes retrieves it. Pushed ahead. Here's Cedrone along the right wing boards. Dumps it back down in. Chased back down there by Madison Novotny. Here's Zach. She's got one of the 3 Nazareth goals. Abby Flanagan can't control it, and it's dumped back behind the goal. Novotny back there for the Pioneers. Starts on the attack. This one's cleared out towards center. Zach's going to chase it down. Being pursued there by Allie Nolan, number 22. Here's Holmes behind the goal now for the Golden Flyers. Surveys the situation. She'll angle it behind the goal for Zach, who pushes it up past the blue line. Pioneers trying to keep it in. Cleared back out towards center. Here comes Utica again. This is Ellie Lasher. Centers it for Kowalski. Shot deflects up and pushed aside there by Hoff with the blocker. And this one winds up in the netting on the near side in the corner. That will result in another face-off. 16:55 to go. Alexis Kindred centering the line between Meredith Betker and Brooke Terry. This one controlled by the Pioneers. Lasher with it in the corner. Kowalski there, played behind the goal by Kindred. Swanson pursuing for the Golden Flyers. There's Kowalski looking to center it, but Swanson's back there for Nazareth. Being harassed there by Riley Calhoun. Nazareth dumps it back out towards center. Betker chasing it. And it comes loose. Nazareth with it behind the goal. They'll angle it around the boards. Swanson's back there for the Golden Flyers along the near side. Battling for it with Ellie Lasher. Now Kowalski. And cleared out towards center. Here come the Pioneers on the attack. Riley Calhoun with its stick handling. It's intercepted there by Quackenbush, and she'll stick handle it behind the goal. That one's cleared out towards center. Winds up on the stick of Madison Santora. Santora centers it towards Sydney Guerlier. Alexis Jones also there. Santora battling for it along the near boards. And Utica clears that out towards center. Here comes Stefanini. Her shot is deflected by Maggie Jacoby. Nice defensive play there. That one's taken away by Kate Cascio, who's being pursued there by Casey Ryder. Cascio cross ice for Jacoby. And now Santora stick handling, and she'll dump it down in, but it's intercepted there by number 71, Emma Corbett for Utica. This is Allie Nolan, the transfer from Chatham. Fifth-year senior. There's a chance for the Pioneers. Santora takes it away, and we got almost a tripping violation there. as Laskowski hit the ice. Utica keeping it in, though, trying to put the pressure on. Ivy Leiden battling along the near boards with Jordan Hancock. Hancock gets it back. Shot goes wide. A little more bounce in the step of the Pioneers here in this third period as they put some pressure on the Golden Flyers. Scoring in the opening minute and threatening for more here. Here's Cascio for Nazareth behind the goal. Ivy Leiden, number 4. Angles it up the near boards. Picked up there by Tess Barrett, who keeps it in. Here's Lasher. Centers it in front. Pushed away by Hoff. And Golden Flyers cleared out towards center. This one's going to go all the way down the ice. It's going to be an icing violation against the Golden Flyers with 13:41 to go. Third period. Golden Flyers on top, 3-1 over Utica. And a good competitive women's hockey game from the Tim Hortons Iceplex. Happy to have you with us here on the Empire 8 Network. Alexis Jones will take this face-off for Nazareth against Jordan Kowalski for Utica.
Timeout, Nazareth.
And Nazareth is going to take a timeout here with 13:41 to go in the third period. Shots are Nazareth 25, Utica 17. And just a reminder, these two teams will be at it again tomorrow at 2 o'clock at Utica. Golden Flyers have won 13 of the 15 meetings with the Pioneers, but a lot of them have been very close, including the last 5 that have been decided by 1 goal. Nazareth won them all, but they've been very competitive games. Nazareth won the last 3 UCHC championships, including 2 against the Pioneers. 2-1 win last year. And 2 years ago was a double overtime win where Nazareth scored with about 8 seconds left in regulation. And then Julia Holmes with the game winner to decide that one. So Nazareth's been to the NCAA tournament 3 years in a row. They were eliminated last year by Hamilton in overtime in the NCAA tournament. Utica was 22-4-2 last year. Nazareth was 22-6-1. So a lot of history between these two teams, even though Nazareth only its 7th season of intercollegiate play. And now we'll restart it here with a face-off. Utica wins the draw. There's a wrist shot from the right point. It's cleared away. Kowalski keeps it in for the Pioneers. Still controlling. There's a shot by Lasher that's gloved by Hoff. And we'll have another face-off in Nazareth territory to the left of McKinley Hoff. Hoff, the UCHC goalie of the year last year. She also was the UCHC goalie of the week for last week. A couple of shutouts over Manhattanville. That shot's deflected in front. And Golden Flyers look to clear it out. Alexis Jones sends it back out towards center. Picked up by Quackenbush. Angles it ahead for Betker, but it's kept in by the Pioneers, who are Nazareth. Sydney Swanson, a battle for it on the near side. Swanson's going to chase it down into the corner. Angle it over for Maggie Jacoby, number 18. Jacoby, a sophomore from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. That's her stick handling behind the goal. Quickly ahead for Laskowski. Nazareth having trouble getting it out of its own zone now. Utica applying some serious pressure. This one goes back in. Swanson's going to chase it. Good forecheck there by Stefanini. Here comes Nazareth. Sredroni comes out with it. Laskowski one touches it into the corner. Pittis in pursuit, but Tess Barrett gets there first. This is Barrett with it behind the goal. Here come the Pioneers on the attack. They have a 2-on-1 break, but nice defense there by Ivy Leiden for the Golden Flyers to thwart that opportunity. There's a pass in front that's retrieved by Abby Flanagan, who starts out for Nazareth up the right wing side. She's going to dump that down in the corner. Pioneers come out with it. Now they're on the attack again. Blue line. Kowalski and Kindred take this draw. Utica wins that face-off. Here comes Novotny, the Utica captain, carries it over the blue line. Now down in the corner, angles it around the boards for McLaughlin. There's Kowalski stick handling. Plays it back in the corner for Lasher. Good stick work here by the Pioneers as they try to cut into Nazareth's lead a little further. There's a pass in front. One-timer tried by Kowalski. Kowalski sitting right into the goal as Hoff covers it up for yet another face-off. The draw against Modlin. Utica controls it. This is Cedrone along the near boards. Utica keeps it in though still. There's a shot that deflects in front. That went off the arm of Allie Zach. Another chance for Utica. Zach behind the goal for Nazareth, being hounded there by Casey Ryder. Utica still keeping it in here. Pressure on. There's a backhander by Ryder that's gloved by Hoff. Holds it for yet another face-off. So Nazareth, after a relatively even first period, Nazareth controlled the second period, but Utica definitely getting the better of it here in the first part of this third period. Golden Flyers win that face-off. Holmes with it. Leaves it for Quackenbush. Quackenbush along the near side. Gives it up for Alexis Jones, and now they dump it back out in. That one goes right on goal, and it's steered aside by Hawthorne. They look to clear it out. This one left out at center. Utica's still with it. Here's Julia Holmes now for the Golden Flyers. Going to wind up just inside the red line for a slap shot that's right on goal. Hawthorne. It. There's Cedrone, stick handling behind the goal, centers it in front, and a shot that's deflected in front. Looked like Laskowski, the one who got the stick on that. It's cleared back out towards center. Here's Lasher, dumps that in, stick the side there by Hoff. Cascio battling along the far side with Riley Calhoun. Nazareth comes away with it. Swanson behind the goal. Forechecking there by Kowalski. Stick handling, good job by Swanson. Going to carry it over the blue line. Try to get a shot off, but it's deflected and angled into the corner. Here's Novotny with it for Utica. Stick handling. Past Terry, and it's dumped down in. Leiden back there angles it back for Ali Zach, who angles it up the near board, or far boards rather. Utica comes away with it again. Utica keeping it in. Here's Corbett along the left point. Her shot's deflected. Betker comes up with it. She stick handles out. Leiden with a chance. Shot and a glove save by Hawthorne. Good chance there for Ivy Leiden with the right-handed wrist shot. Aiming for that upper left corner, but Hawthorne gets the glove up and snares it for the nice save. It'll be another face-off. Deep in Utica territory. 8:09 to go now. Corsica Skabinski will take this draw for the Golden Flyers. That was Kendall Best for Utica. Have some bodies flying around in front there. 30-20 now are the shot on goal advantage for Nazareth. 3-1 our score. It was 3-0 after the first two periods. Utica scoring in the opening minute of the third period. A goal by Haley Modlin after a scramble in front. Golden Flyers looking to center it. Here comes Utica now on the attack. Corbett dumps it down in, or Barrett rather. Taken away by Quackenbush. Quackenbush stick handling. Utica keeps it in. It's intercepted. That was Riley Calhoun with a nice play. This one trickles over the blue line, so Utica's got to get onside. And we're going to have a penalty here against the Golden Flyers as Riley Calhoun was tripped up right in front of the red line. So Nazareth's going to have its first penalty of the game. Ellis Cedrone is going to get a 2-minute tripping violation here with 6:58 to go. First power play chance for the Pioneers. And Utica will take a timeout as well. Utica 7 out of 21 on the power play. No, they call it an illegal body check against Cedrone, not a trip. So 7 for 21 Utica on the power play so far. Some of that is a little inflated. They scored 28 goals in 2 games last weekend against Hilbert. Nazareth, meanwhile, they've committed just the 6th penalty they've committed all year. And opponents are 1 for 5 on the power play so far against the Golden Flyers. So we'll see how this shakes out. Utica takes a timeout, 6:58 to go. McKinley Hoff has been sharp in goal for Nazareth with 19 saves. And her counterpart, Angela Hawthorne, also a good game with 27 saves so far. So after today, Nazareth will be on the road tomorrow at Utica. They're back home here on Tuesday afternoon, 3:15 against William Smith. Non-conference game at the Tim Hortons Iceplex. And then they're off until the 6th of December. So a lot of non-league games this year for the Golden Flyers with the UCHC down to just 4 teams. So Golden Flyers on the penalty kill. Alexis Jones taking this face off. Utica controls it. This is Kendall Best. This is Autumn Mish, number 25, stick handling. Centering is it in front. Goes behind the goal. Kendall Best, and they lose it. Goes past the blue line, and Jerome retrieves it for the Pioneers. Here's Jerome, stick handling over the blue line. Pulls up, tries to center it. There's Best in front. Chance there for Ryder in front, but knocked away. Jerome with it now, stick handling, leaves it there for Mish. Her shot right on, stick save there by Hoff as this one goes past the blue line. Here come the Pioneers again. This is Modlin with it. Fans on the shot, and Quackenbush comes up with it and sends it down the ice. And Utica will pick it up. This Madison Novotny with it. Stick handling. 45 seconds on the power play. 5:40 to go in the third period, and Utica's offside with 41 seconds left on the power play. Sydney Gurlier, Meredith Betker, Kate Cascio, and Sydney Swanson on the penalty kill. Kowalski taking this draw for the Pioneers. And Nazareth clears it out of there. Betker chasing Stefanini. Here comes Novotny. Nice pass ahead for Calhoun. Calhoun sends it past the blue line. It goes down into the corner. Caccio's there, tries to clear it out. Now Gurlier stick handles past the blue line, and she dumps it down into the corner. Betker gets there first and looks to kill some more time. Less than 10 seconds on the power play. Here comes Utica. Nice lead pass for Calhoun, but it goes off her stick. Quackenbush down there to retrieve it. They collide in the corner. And here comes Nazareth coming away with it. Julia Holmes stick handling. She dumps it down. It deflects into the corner. Cedroni's there for the Golden Flyers. Tries to center it. No one there. Here comes Utica back on the attack. 4:30 to go in the third period. Getting close to that time. We'll keep an eye on the Utica goaltender, Angela Hawthorne, see when she might head to the bench for an extra skater. Pioneers trying to get it out of there. This is Jerome with it. Maya Jerome, freshman from Belleville, Michigan. As Utica dumps it down. Controlled there by Leiden. Leiden made a nice, good defensive play there. Casey Ryder was ready to pounce. Here comes Nazareth on the attack. Laskowski has it taken away there by Novotny. Novotny over the blue line. Here's Best with it. Stick handling along the blue line. Nazareth comes away with it. Kindred battling behind the goal there with Best. Best comes out with it. Clears it back to the blue line for Stefanini. Her shot is blocked by Laskowski. And it goes back out to center. Stefanini ahead for Calhoun, who one times it for Kowalski. Her shot deflected by Leiden. Golden Flyers doing a good job stepping in front of some dangerous shots there as we're down to 3 minutes to go. Whistle on the far side. Golden Flyers 3 minutes away from handing Utica its first loss of the season. Pioneers ranked 7th nationally in Division III. Kowalski will center this one. against Corsica Skibinski. Pioneers control it. Jerome sends it back. Calhoun in the near corner. And it's cleared out of there by Quackenbush. Looked like the goaltender Hawthorne was ready to head to the bench until that puck was cleared down the ice by Nazareth. Here's Cedrone, looks to center it. And this one's cleared down. Quackenbush retrieves it. Ends up on the stick of Julia Holmes. That was ahead for Brooke Judkowitz. It goes all the way down into the zone. It'll be a face-off down in the Nazareth end. And Hawthorne's going to head to the bench right now, and Utica will have 6 skaters out there. .220 to play. Skibinski will take this draw against Haley Modlin. Utica controls it. That is empty here. Here come the Golden Flyers. Cedrone looking for the hat trick, and that shot just wide. Back to retrieve it is Stefanini. Pushes it ahead for Lasher. Swanson retrieves it. Golden Flyers just trying to clear it out of the zone. They do. This is going to be an icing against the Golden Flyers with 1:48 to go. So the Sophia Pittis line out there between Cedrone and Laskowski. Kate Cascio and Sydney Swanson, the defenders. And Utica's going to go with the Jordan Kowalski line. That's been out there an awful lot. Looks like Kendall Best, number 6, the extra skater. Nazareth controls this draw. Cedrone along the near boards. Dumps it out. Ahead for Pittis, and her shot goes wide. Laskowski was there, ready to put it in, the empty goal. That is still empty. Nazareth trying to keep it in. Swanson got a stick on it. Here's Cascio. Ahead for Cedrone. Cedrone looking for the hat trick, but couldn't get a stick on it. And we got a whistle. Face-off coming up here. Net's still empty here for Utica. 1:16 to go. Alexis Kindred will take this draw. Utica controls that face-off. There comes Haley Modlin stick handling. Novotny trying to keep it in.
1 minute left in the third period.
There's the call. 1 minute to go here in the third period. The Utica goal is empty. Nazareth trying to tack on another one here if they can. Here comes Betker with it, stick handling over the blue line. She's going to dump it down just wide left of the goal. The rebound is knocked in by the Golden Flyers. That was Alexis Jones, I think, that got the rebound and put it in for the 4th goal of the game. That comes with 38 seconds to go. Now let's take a look at what happened here. It was Meredith Betker that fired that one down just wide to the left of the goal. And here it is. It goes wide and caromed off the boards right to Alexis Jones, who picks up the goal, her first of the season, the junior from Carnegie, Pennsylvania. Makes it 4-1 in favor of the Golden Flyers.
Nazareth goal scored by number 5, Alexis Jones. Assist number 24, Meredith Becker. Time of the goal, 19:22. Jones from Becker.
So Jones gets the goal, Betker on the assists. 3rd assist of the season for Meredith Betker.
Hawthorne back in goal now for the Pioneers. And she's going to come to the bench yet again for another skater. Pioneers not giving up here. Kowalski will take this face-off between Nolan and Riley Calhoun. Ellie Lasher also out there along with Novotny and Autumn Mish. There's Novotny, plays it back for Mish on the right point. Stick handling. Puck is loose in front. Nolan tries to dump it behind the goal. Centers it in front. Nazareth retrieves it. Cleared out to center, and there's the horn signaling the end of the game. Final score, Nazareth 4, Utica 1. The Golden Flyers improved to 4-1 overall. They're now 3-0 in the UCHC standings. Utica suffers its first defeat of the season. They're now 6-1 overall and 2-1 in the UCHC. 31 shots for Nazareth, 23 for Utica. 22 saves for McKinley Hoff, who gets credit for the victory. And Nazareth will be back in action tomorrow afternoon. They travel to Utica for another UCHC game against the Pioneers. That starts at 2 o'clock. Nazareth will be home here again on Tuesday, November 26th against William Smith, a 3:15 p.m. start here from the Tim Hortons Iceplex. So we thank you for watching today's webcast on the Empire 8 Network. This is Joe Sile saying so long from the Tim Hortons Iceplex. Thanks for watching.